What's up, guys? Welcome back to part 4 of my Let's Talk Twosun Knives mini-series. If you watched the previous parts, thank you, I really appreciate that. And for this part, I'm going to be talking about the pros and cons of Twosun Knives and why I like them so much as a company and why I like their knives and why I think you should buy them. And real quick, I did want to make a couple of quick channel announcements. First one, I recently got a new phone, so this will be the first video that I'm doing on the new phone. And yeah, image quality is definitely going to be a lot better now, so I'm excited about that. I'll finally be able to get some nice close-up shots and put some better content out for you guys, image-wise and, you know, hopefully video-wise in general. But second update or announcement, I will be doing my knife collection video soon. In like a week or so, I'll probably have that posted, so be on the lookout for that. And if you aren't subscribed, subscribe, because I got like 75 plus knives that I'll be going through. Got some good stuff here, so yeah, stick around. But second thing, I have two new Twosuns that I wanted to talk about real quick before getting into all of this. So first one up, we have the TS341 Sidewinder by Mazwan Mohktar. And I'm still kind of learning the ins and outs of the zoom feature here, so bear with me a little. But here you have this beautiful stone-washed or black-washed titanium handle with the carbon fiber bolsters. Gorgeous transition. I love the micro milling and just the overall milling on the handle. The way this concaves and just the sculpting done here is very well done. Speed holes. And then your a full backspacer, which is great to see. A lot of Twosun knives, the blade is really easy to touch, especially in this area, so having the full backspacer here definitely helps. And that's something Mazwan has been doing as of lately. And then the centering groove is a nice added touch as well. You got that chunky clip here that's a little bit high up, wish it was more centered, but it does look pretty nice. It's got a different kind of ball style than the other Mazwan clips that he's been doing, so he's kind of changed it up. But this one's got some really strong retention. It needs to be relieved a little bit more, but still works okay. And then you have this bolster lock style. Very cool there how they did that. But yeah, just overall beautiful knife and finish. Looks great. I like the black-washed titanium, the black-washed two-tone finish on the blade. Let's get this out. I don't know why I haven't opened this yet. Sorry about that. But there you can see that gorgeous leaf-shaped blade. Forward finger choil here. Two-tone. Black-wash flats on the fuller grooves. Beautiful stone wash, or satin bevels. And got a little bit of a thumb ramp here. No jimping, but that's okay. Due to the ergonomics and that little thumb ramp, you just lock in really nicely. And yeah, this thing is just... Mazwan's got his ergos down fantastically now. And for being a smaller knife, he really nailed it in here too. The forward finger choil ergos are just amazing as well. It just fits up so nicely in the hand. And you still get your full blade. 3 inches here, cutting edge or overall. So perfect EDC size. The detent angle is at a normal clearance. Past it. And then the action on this one is not the smoothest. It could be a little smoother. I am working around the camera, so it's not the easiest either, but being on that black wash finish, the detent is going to be a little impeded. But still smooth action overall, and actuates nicely, and the jimping on the top flipper, front flipper here works well, nice and grippy, and catches the thumb perfectly, opens easily. But great knife here, the 341 Sidewinder by Mazwan Mohktar. Next knife that I have is the TS341 by Woytko, or Woytko, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Sorry if I butchered that. But I call this the Rhino Cleaver, and this thing is so awesome. Freaking love this knife. And for EDC, this thing is actually working phenomenally. It's a cutter. It actually, even though it don't look like it, it's been a really useful blade shape. It's got this rhino foot blade shape, as I would call it. A little bit of belly. The blade stock here is at a nice thickness. And then you got that really, really fine taper. So yeah, this thing is pretty slicey behind the edge, a lot slicier than you would think. But you still have enough thickness to hold up. And then you can kind of use this front area to like get under stuff and pry a little and make your cuts. And it just works out really nicely on this blade and this knife here. And I've been really enjoying this one. I paid 41 bucks for this one and 90 for that one there. And got them both off of White Mountain Knives. The thumb studs on this are just beautiful, perfect, work phenomenally. They're the same thumb studs that are used on the 301 here. Nice lock bar access. And then the action on here is tuned phenomenally. This thing is buttery. I tuned it so where it's just effortless. I did give it a little bit of an earlier lockup because it's got a really strong lock bar tension. There's no relief cut or like internal relief. So I did make it a little bit earlier, but it still locks up nice and solid. No play at all. Up or down, this thing is pretty solid. It's a pocket tank, kind of like the TS341 that Josh also designed, which is pretty similar looking to this. But yeah, these thumb studs work excellently. They don't snag on the pants or anything. Excellent jimping, nice and grippy, a little bit of thumb ramp, good ergos, you can choke up. Just feels really nice in the hand. Even though I'm not a fan of this like thick to thin profile, it does work well on this knife here. And yeah, it's just a fantastic budget knife. Paid 41, like I said. Definitely well worth it. I polished up the micarta since it was pretty gritty when I got it, and added some oil to it to darken it. But you do get this nice acid stonewash blade. The D10 angle on here is pretty immediate, very early. You pass it, and then, like I said, definitely have to watch the guillotine. But just great action. No bearing tracks, and then you do have stonewash liners. So for having no bearing tracks, stonewash liners, action's crazy. So I would definitely recommend this one just for like an interesting, cool EDC option. And yeah, really enjoying this one. They also weight relieve the liner, so definitely not cutting any corners here, even for a budget option. Perfectly centered. That's the TS341. So let's get into the pros and cons. Why do I like Twosun so much? Well, they are an OEM for a number of young, talented, up-and-coming designers. They have 4 main designers that they use, who I like to call the 4 horsemen of Twosun. You got Mazwan Mohktar, Night Morning, Jelly Jerry, and Wan Deshin designs. They all make just fantastic designs. I mean, 95% of my collection here is by them 4, aside from the Rihi design here and the Josh Woytko here. But other than that, I mean, they're all the 4 horsemen here. But Twosun does use like 20 other designers in their wheelhouse, so they're working with some young, talented guys. They have a large selection of knives, like 250 plus knives that you can choose from, so you're definitely bound to find something you like. They have a really wide selection, like of just uniqueness. Their knives range in really unique, different, and new, interesting styles. Like this, for example, it's got that reverse bolster lock style. I mean, when do you ever see that? Sometimes you'll see like the inlay here covering the frame lock, so something like that. I mean, that's pretty interesting, different. What else? These two here. You have your this overlaid like frame lock construction, kind of hybrid. It's just very interesting how they build these designs and they do something different, and I think it's really cool, really unique. Makes their knife stand out. And they're not afraid to do that. They're not afraid to do something unique, something new. And if it doesn't work for them, you know, they move on. They make small batches and they focus on selling those knives, selling them all. So, you know, if something doesn't work, like I said, they just move on. And it doesn't really affect them the way it would affect like large-scale companies. Their quality is excellent. Their fit and finish and build construction machining, just all wonderful for the price. They are the best bang for your buck knives. You can get something like this for $36 and, you know, great budget knife, 14C, amazing action. Or you can get something more like this for what I paid $107 for this. And this should be a $300 knife. Full titanium, M390, frame lock flipper. I mean, what more can you ask for at that price? With this milling, hidden screw construction for the pocket clip. Twosun is doing some really incredible stuff, and that's why I really like them. And their quality is consistent throughout. From, you know, the 30 to 300 range that they're in, they're putting out good stuff, and all of the knives that I've gotten from them have all come out of the box fantastic. I've had like no problems at all with them. A little bit of fit and finish work to polish up that micarta, it's, you know, my choice on that, and made it a little bit better, but that's really the only thing. Action, centeredness, all that, perfect. I did do my tune to them just to make them even better, but that wasn't something that was necessary. It was just something I like to do. So, how do you get Twosun knives? Well, you're gonna have to go, you have 5 different options basically. eBay, AliExpress, DHgate, Amazon, or White Mountain Knives. If you go the eBay route, there's two eBay stores for Twosun Knives and D199, or you can buy from any US sellers on like the secondary market, but you're most likely going to pay a markup. If you're buying from the Twosun stores, you're going to be waiting 2 to 4 weeks for your package. If you buy from Amazon, it's a store called Tangli, Tangli. Same thing, 2 to 4 weeks. They sell their knives at a fixed, like competitive price, competitive to MSRP price. So, you know, the prices are going to vary. If you go the auction route, that's going to be your best bet for getting your Twosuns cheaper. But, you know, you have to win the auction. That's the only catch. And then, again, waiting the 2 to 4 weeks for your knife to come. So, my favorite option is definitely White Mountain Knives, because you don't have to wait the 2 to 4 weeks. It's more like 4 to 5 days. And then you don't have to pay taxes. You can use a 10% discount code and get these knives cheaper. And it just works out a lot better in my opinion. But the only thing there is you're having to wait for specific models. So it might take a lot longer. You might have to get on a wish list and have them send you an email notification when they finally come in so that you can purchase it. So, you know, that's going to take a little bit more time, but it makes up for it not having to wait so long for your knife to come in. And then you may end up getting it cheaper from White Mountain Knives as well. But those are some of your options there, acquiring Twosuns. And let's see. Something I really like that Twosun has done is they've created this niche market of high-end budget knives. Like this, for example. The TS270. You have a full titanium construction, beautifully done, micro milling, internal relief cut. It's got this closed back spacer, pseudo integral construction, but we're rocking 14C here. So you're rocking a budget steel, but you have a full titanium construction, and that's what I mean by a high-end budget class that they've created. And I think a lot more people are moving to this type of knife because, you know, they want a more EDC-friendly steel, something easier to sharpen, but something that works well. And that's where you get good results from 14C or D2 and Nitro V and 154CM, you know, steels like that are good performers and gonna be easier to sharpen, and you still get a nice, you know, titanium knife with micarta or carbon fiber, but you're not having to pay, you know, $200-300 for it. You pay a fraction of the cost. And I think a lot more people are starting to go that route and realize that, you know, they don't need every single one of their knives in M390. Whatever. But that's something that Twosun has done that I really like, and I've noticed that QB is kind of getting in on that. And that's something Kaiser kind of does too, but they charge a little bit more. But yeah, one thing that Twosun does that's really, really awesome is they'll make a budget version and a premium version of their knives, like the TS66. This is the budget G10 model. They also make it in a titanium integral. Very, very beautiful integral that I really wish I can get my hands on, but yeah, they'll do things like that. The TS341 Pathfinder. This one's in titanium. They make a orange G10, orange and black G10 model. So they'll do things like that where they'll make a knife in a budget and a more premium construction, so that you can kind of have that different option. TS341 here, they make it in a like burlappy micarta, or they make it in this black wash titanium finish. So they also make it in a blue-black G10. So just really, really cool that they'll do things like that. And, you know, it's more options for the customer. Another thing that they do is they'll make a knife in different blade steels. The 301 here, for example, this one started out in 14C28N. They make them in D2 now. So that's a pretty cool thing that Twosun does. Or they'll start the knife off in like 14C, and then later on they'll release it in M390 if it's popular. That's another great option to have. So if you want the knife in a budget steel, you can get that. If you want it in a premium steel, you can get that too. If you want the premium version of the knife, there's that. If you want the budget version, there's that too. So just really, really cool how you have all these options from them, even for the same knife. And not a lot of companies do that, and that's something I find exciting. It makes things more affordable, and again, more options, and just more collectability. But yeah, they use great materials, like I mentioned, all kinds of materials: G10, bone, micarta, horn, stag, carbon fiber, titanium. They use T8 hardware, great hardware, steel lock bar inserts, ceramic detents, ceramic bearings. They use titanium pivot collars on some of their knives, like this one here. These have titanium pivot collars. They use D2, 14C, M390, S90V, S110V, M398, 12C27 for their steels. Their heat treat on their 14C and D2 are really good. On their super steels, in the past it's been a little questionable, but now it's definitely improved and it's fine. So yeah, Twosun is definitely doing some great stuff. And I mean, I can't say it enough. For the money, I really think they're doing the best bang for your buck knives out there. But yeah, they just do a ton of things right on the construction of their knives. And they do a lot of things that I wish other companies would do. Bearing tracks, detent ramps, just the little things like that that make the knives so much better and the action so much better. But again, some cons, a little harder to find. You know, they're not, they don't have a website, and, you know, they're more on Instagram where you can find them, and they're a little more underground. But I kind of like it that way because it's keeping the knives at a cheaper price, and it's making things, how would I put it? I don't know, just more interesting as a collector. But I would definitely recommend getting into Twosun Knives. They are definitely doing some great stuff, pushing the envelope, and really coming out with some fantastic stuff for unbeatable prices. Again, 90 bucks here. So definitely check them out if you haven't, and if you do buy Twosuns and you like them, yeah, definitely do a collection video. I would love to see your guys' collections, and I'll be doing my full collection video soon, so please like and subscribe, and hope you guys enjoyed this entire series. I know it's kind of long, but yeah, have a good one, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.